Alex Cooper built a media empire that looked untouchable, but behind the scenes, something isn't right. Tears. Screaming. Employees quietly looking for the exit. And now, rumors are swirling that her entire brand might be facing its biggest test yet. Because the drama isn't just online anymore, it's happening inside her own company. It's easy to forget just how fast everything happened. Not long ago, Alex Cooper was simply the voice behind Call Her Daddy, a podcast that exploded almost overnight. What started as bold, unfiltered conversations quickly turned into one of the biggest shows in the world. Millions of listeners. Massive deals. A fan base that treated every episode like an event. At one point, she wasn't just successful, she was dominating the space. And then came the expansion. Alex didn't just want a podcast, she wanted an empire. A full-blown media network. New shows. New talent. Bigger reach. More influence. On paper, it looked like the perfect next move. But scaling that fast? It doesn't always go smoothly. And cracks started showing sooner than people expected. The first signs of tension didn't even come from inside her company. They came from outside, and very publicly. Fans began noticing something off involving mega-influencer Alex Earl. At first, it was subtle small things, shifts in tone, moments that didn't quite add up. But online? That's all it takes. Suddenly, speculation started spreading. Some believed there were disagreements behind the scenes. Others claimed there may have been creative or business clashes. Nothing officially confirmed, but the buzz kept growing. And the more people talked, the bigger the story became. But here's the thing, while everyone was focused on that external drama, something much bigger was happening internally. Behind the brand, Alex Cooper had launched her podcast network Unwell. This was supposed to be the next big step, a platform to bring in new voices, build new hits, and expand beyond just one show. But not everything was landing the way people expected. Some of the new shows struggled to gain traction. Others didn't create the same cultural impact as Call Her Daddy. And in an industry where attention is everything, that matters. Because when expectations are sky high, anything less starts to feel like a problem. And internally, pressure begins to build. The kind of pressure that doesn't stay hidden for long. That's when whispers about the workplace itself started surfacing. Reports began suggesting that employee turnover was becoming an issue. People weren't just leaving, they were actively looking for a way out. Now, to be clear, these are claims from people familiar with the situation, not official statements. But when multiple voices start saying similar things, people pay attention. Some described an environment that felt tense. Others hinted at instability behind the scenes. And when employees start walking away from a fast-growing company, it raises questions. Because people don't usually leave something successful without a reason. And it turns out, there may have been more to the story. At the center of it all is someone most fans don't talk about enough, Matt Kaplan. He's not just Alex Cooper's husband, he's also deeply involved in the business as co-CEO. And according to reports, that's where things may have started getting complicated. Some insiders claim there was friction between him and staff. Differences in leadership style. Tension in decision-making. Again, nothing officially confirmed, but enough talk to spark serious curiosity. Running a company is already difficult. Running it with your partner, while managing rapid growth, public attention, and internal pressure? That's a completely different level. And when leadership isn't fully aligned, it doesn't stay contained at the top. It trickles down. Then came the moments that really started describing emotional scenes behind the curtain: tears, raised voices, intense situations that painted a very different picture from the polished image fans see online. Now, it's important to be careful here. These accounts are based on what's being said by people close to the situation, not confirmed public statements. But still, they add to a growing narrative. A narrative of pressure. Of expectations. Of a company trying to keep up with its own rapid success. Because building something big is one thing. Holding it together as it grows? That's where things get difficult. And sometimes, that's when everything starts to shake. When you step back and look at everything together, a bigger picture starts to form. A public feud drawing attention. A network struggling to replicate its biggest success. Employees reportedly stepping away. Leadership tensions behind the scenes. Individually, each of these might not mean much. But combined? It raises a serious question. Is this just normal growing pain, or the early signs of something deeper? Because we've seen this pattern before. Fast success. Rapid expansion. Internal pressure. And then, cracks that get harder to hide. Still, nothing is confirmed as a full-blown collapse. Far from it. But the conversation is shifting. And people are starting to watch more closely. Here's the twist though. Alex Cooper is still one of the most powerful voices in podcasting right now. Call Her Daddy is still massive. Her influence hasn't disappeared. And her brand still carries serious weight. So this isn't a downfall story. At least, not yet. It's a moment. A moment where everything she's built is being tested in real time. Because the truth is, building an empire is only half the battle. Keeping it stable while the world watches? That's where things get unpredictable. And in an industry that moves this fast, one shift can change everything overnight. So the real question is this just a rough phase behind the scenes?